The term hypokinetic was coined by Cross and Robb in their book Hypokinetic Disease, 1961. This term is now widely accepted and can be used to describe many of the diseases and conditions associated with inactivity and poor fitness, such those conditions outlined in Physical Activity and Health. Although the human body is designed for movements and strenuous physical activity, exercise is not a part of the average lifestyle. One cannot expect the human body to function optimally and to remain healthy for extended period if it is abused or it's not used as extended. Physical inactivity has led to a rise in chronic diseases. Some experts believe that physical inactivity is the most important public health problem in the 21st century. Each year, at least 1.9 million people die as the result of physical inactivity. According to World Health Organization or WHO, cardiovascular disease caused 17.3 million deaths, 30% worldwide in 2008, and it is projected to cause more than 26 million deaths by 2030. More than 80% of those cardiovascular deaths occurred in low and middle income countries.
Coronary heart disease. Coronary heart disease is caused by a lack of blood supply to the heart muscle resulting from a progressive degenerative disorder known as atherosclerosis. Atherosclerosis is an inflammatory process involving a buildup of low-density lipoprotein cholesterol. Coronary heart disease risk factors. Epidemiological research indicates that many factors are associated with the risk of CHD. The greater the number and the severity of risk factors, the greater the probability of CHD. These are the positive risk factors for CHD. If the HDL-C is high, you should subtract one risk factor from the sum of the positive factors when assessing CHD risk. Physical activity and coronary heart. Physically active people have a lower incidence of myocardial infarction and mortality from CHD and tend to develop CHD at a later age compared to their sedentary counterparts. Individuals who exercise regularly reduce their relative risk of developing CHD by a factor of 1.5 to 2.4.
Hypertension or high blood pressure is a chronic persistent elevation of high blood pressure that is clinically defined as a systolic pressure is 140 millimeters of mercury or a diastolic pressure is 90 millimeters of mercury. High blood pressure. High blood pressure is a sign that the heart and blood vessels are being overworked. Systolic blood pressure. Pressure exerted when blood is ejected into arteries. Normal systolic blood pressure is 120 millimeters of mercury or below. Diastolic blood pressure. Pressure blood exerts within arteries between heartbeats. Normal diastolic blood pressure is 80 millimeters of mercury or below. Damage from high blood pressure. Stroke, blindness, heart attack, heart failure, and kidney failure. Hypercholesterolemia and dyslipidemia. Hypercholesterolemia is an elevation of total cholesterol in the blood. It is associated with increased risk for CVD. Hypercholesterolemia is also referred to as hyperlipidemia, which is an increase in blood lipid levels. high cholesterol symptoms: loose stools, poor appetite, fatigue, depression, weight gain, bumps, stomach distension, heart pain, and aching pain. Dyslipidemia refers to an abnormal blood lipid profile. Dyslipidemia is the imbalance of lipids such as cholesterol, low density lipoprotein cholesterol, triglycerides, and high density lipoprotein. Dangers of dyslipidemia: coronary heart disease, fat, stroke, and peripheral arterial disease. Age, gender, family history, alcohol, smoking are risk factor for hypercholesterolemia, and regular activity reduce the change of getting hypercholesterolemia and dyslipidemia.
Physical activity and lipid profiles. What's the connection between physical activity and lipid profiles? Regular physical activity, especially habitual aerobic exercise, positively affects lipid metabolism and lipid profiles. According to Schoenherr and Wells, 1995 cross-sectional comparison of lipid profile in physically active and sedentary women and men suggests that physical fitness is inversely related to TC and the TC-HDL-C ratio. Total cholesterol, TC, the sum of your LDL, VLDL, and HDL cholesterol level is your total cholesterol level. Total cholesterol HDL cholesterol ratio. Your healthcare provider can determine another figure known as your total cholesterol to HDL ratio by comparing your total cholesterol level with your HDL cholesterol value. Your risk for stroke and coronary heart disease is determined by these totals. Diabetes mellitus. Diabetes is considered as a global epidemic. According to WHO in 2011, more than 346 million people worldwide have the disease. Factors linked to this epidemic: urbanization, aging, physical inactivity, unhealthy diet, and obesity. Types of diabetes. Previously known as insulin-independent diabetes mellitus, IDDM, typically develops before the age of 30. However, it can happen at any age. This is diabetic type 1. Type 2, formerly known as non-insulin independent diabetes mellitus, NIDDM. According to WHO in 2011, it's more prevalent, accounting for 90% of cases of diabetes mellitus globally. Risk factors for developing diabetes: age, gender, family history, calorie intake, and physical inactivity. Obesity and overweight. According to clinical guideline in 1998, adult overweight and obesity are classified using the body mass index or BMI. Overweight and obesity is defined as having abnormal or excessive fat accumulation that may impair health. According to WHO in 2012, it ranks as the 5th leading risk factor for death worldwide. Metabolic syndrome. It refers to a combination of CVD risk factors associated with hypertension, dyslipidemia, insulin resistance, and abdominal obesity. Aging. A sedentary lifestyle and lack of physical activity reduce life expectancy. Telomerase. Telomeres are repeated DNA sequence that determine the structure and function of chromosomes.